I did something you've never done in a video before. I actually did research before going into it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I found some answers to some questions. Well, I mean, you know what? It's all right, Billy, because I did all your research for you. I literally got you like 7 fucking timestamps to rip into War Corps about. So
I didn't hear you.
Oh, you might need to get the soy out of your ears.
That's the best you got.
Literally, your joke.
It was the best you got.
Oh my god!
And it was better than when you told it.
I know you primarily wanted to talk about our video, so we'll primarily talk about your response to that. And one at a time, I have several timestamps here. It'll be one person talking to you at once, so it's not like piling out over you and stuff like that. So how do you feel about that? Is that good? Acceptable?
Let's go for it.
Okay, Frank, the second video I sent you, the one with all the Geek Room timestamps, I guess we can, since Billy wanted to get things out of the way since he has to fucking sleep, that normie, we'll have him talk to War Corps first. I will not make any clock jokes. I will not make any jokes about how your time is up.
By offering a counter standpoint. Hold on. Yep, okay. They have a Patreon. Let's see how much money these losers are making.
So what he was responding to was the fact that I said Vosh did a takedown of that stupid fucking Coca-Cola thing. Even Vosh disagreed with it because it gives idiots the ability to have some sort of leg, but not really, to talk about their fragility bullshit. And then he decided to go at Vosh because Vosh is my ad, apparently. I am a Vosh fan, just because Vosh is
Vosh is a massive hypocrite, but...
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, because
you're going to go socialist, but he uses all the benefits of
nation.
He uses all the benefits of capitalism. He's a fucking trust fund
that you're in, stupid. Like, say I didn't believe in
gravity. So you want to dismantle capitalism, but at the same point you want to use capitalism.
No. That's not what he believes in at all. Listen to him for more than 1 second. He doesn't want to instantly destroy... No, you haven't. You've listened to him as much as you read the book White Fragility, which was 10%, and you went, nah, not for me.
I'm going to launch you a question just because you said that. So, like, would you abolish, like, Medicare and shit like that? Medicaid?
I'd probably reform it. A lot of the people that are on Medicaid right now, well, they can get jobs and get private insurance through their employers. Have you read the list of disabilities? A lot of them are horse shit. And again, when I see people in wheelchairs with jobs...
I want to hear some of these.
Yeah, please list the disabilities that are horse shit.
Obesity is technically considered a disability.
Yeah, you got
that. Why can't you work if you're deaf? Why can't you work if you're blind? Why can't you work if you got a fucked up leg?
Let's see. Let me pick a random disability out of my head.
How about diabetes? You really can't work with diabetes.
On how severe the diabetes is.
Oh, bullshit!
It also depends on what kind of diabetes.
Bullshit. Like, there's literally people that could literally die if their shit fucking breaks. Like, in matter of hours.
Fucking grab an EpiPen, for Christ's sakes.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't care.
EpiPen.
Of course he doesn't care.
He just said EpiPen.
Without a job.
EpiPens for, like, allergies.
Grab an emergency dose of insulin or whatever.
Oh, yeah, insulin, which is even more expensive.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So yeah, no, it's not fine. Literally, you're just insane. If their pancreas is completely shut down, something like that,
you can still work. Being depressed is considered a disability, for Christ's sake.
Depression?
This is bullshit.
Yes, it is. Do you know why?
Get up, drink yourself happy like a normal person.
Fuck you. Literally, it's not that hard of a concept. Depression's a chemical.
How large is that river you cry every goddamn day?
I'm not crying a river, but I'm glad you try to make that attempt. That is adorable.
Fucking suck it up and get to work.
Oh, I don't have depression, no. But I understand what things are because I'm not a fucking infant yelling on the internet.
This is just one conversation, so
I broke my
let me
thing.
see what the next... You broke your thing?
Yeah.
What, your War Corps?
Oh,
yeah, I think you did too. Frank, the cut. So why what was that? Like, you make several cuts in this video, and I noticed that you don't edit out the parts where you go to get beer for like 2 minutes and then go take a piss for like 3 minutes, but you edit that out. I'm genuinely curious. It could be nothing, but what was it, if you actually remember? Because it just seems a bit sus, right?
I don't, and nor do I care.
Oh God.
Yeah, who cares about your audience?
Well,
I surely don't.
Like, I would have given you the benefit of the doubt. It was just another piss break. Whatever. We don't have to. I think that's weird.
I'm just saying we spend more on our socialist programs we have now.
You're being a liar. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm not. You just don't like the fact that I proved your sorry ass wrong.
Have you ever had a job?
Yeah, I have one right now, dude.
Yeah, then you're a liar. Cool. Because Social Security doesn't work the same way the defense does. It's not even remotely the same. It's the same. It's a thing you pay into yourself for yourself that you're pulling out. It's not a budget thing.
Oh, it's not
the
going to
same
be
thing.
around when I'm 65.
That's what
Not
every
a
single
chance.
generation before us has said. That is fucking full of shit. Yeah, literally, your parents' generation, you know, went after they shot you out and they hated you. When they popped you out, they said the same thing.
There's not enough workers.
Yes, there is.
It's going to
Yes,
dissolve.
Yes, there is.
Probably by 2040.
Yes, there is. Ooh, you're giving me a solid number. Can you send me your paper on showing when that's going to resolve?
Can you send me your paper saying it's going to survive?
No,
without massive
you're
tax
making the positive
increases?
claim. I'm disagreeing with you. So you're making the positive
You've been making
claim.
positive claims all fucking night, and you can't
literally,
fucking
I literally
back
said
anything
LASIK
up.
is covered by insurance sometimes, and you said it never was, and then I proved myself correct because Toast is in here.
Oh,
I
fine.
made you look like an
I
idiot.
was 5% wrong. Please fucking forgive me. Fuck you.
Wait. You're bringing out numbers. You can do it. You come on and call me a subway. I don't think he's going to.
He can't say it because you can actually grow a beard, so he can't go to his one like initial defense that he always goes to. Anyway, let's move on. There's another fucking bunch of timestamps here. And
timestamp where he says he's done more for this country than me. I really want to listen to that one.
What?
Again.
I did not.
He responds to me and goes, "I've done more for this country than these guys."
You're not even. You're Puerto Rican.
What?
Which are Americans, you dumb fat fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, whatever. Fine. Fuck it. Fine. You've done more than me. How about that? I'll concede
it's
that.
not even close.
Good for you. Golf clap for you.
It is good for me. A socialist.
I guarantee I pay more in taxes than
No, you haven't.
Oh, man. Puerto Rican. That's fucking awesome. All right. Well.
Point!
Okay.
Okay.
This is like when I talk to fucking.
Like, I feel like I have to respond to their whole video so they at least can't say that out. I mean, Underhaven, they cut me off after a minute in my original video.
Look, dude, you didn't even reply to the whole fucking Geek Room video segment. So what are you talking about? Like, you
I don't care.
He phases out right then.
You don't care?
Like,
what do you mean you don't care? You don't care? You're a fucking hypocrite. That's what I'm telling you. You are a fucking hypocrite. Can't finish the sandwich. Don't mock someone else who can't finish the fucking sandwich as well. Point for me, I guess. Let's move on to the next fucking thing.
Generally, I think most employers that are at least competent at their jobs are looking for the best qualified candidate and not really giving a rat's ass over whether a client is named Joe or Jamal.
Do you deny that the studies show this, right? When you blind something, like, because I think we would both agree whether a guy's named, has my name Sam or is named Tyrone, it should have no bearing on whether they're qualified. We agree on that one, right?
It shouldn't.
But then when they've done these studies, right, if you put a black sounding name on my CV, which is quite impressive, then my application goes down in terms of acceptance, right? Like, that's a demonstrated claim across multiple studies. Do you deny that?
Considering black people are in every single profession, both the high ones and the low ones, yeah, I kind of deny that.
So, like, at a certain point, are you not just a science denialist then? Like, you're denying the results of the studies. Like, I'm not.
Like, if you're looking for a job to be like a kindergarten teacher, if you have a male name, you're probably not going to get the job.
That's also bad.
I would say.
Okay, but what does that
have
have to do with
nature.
implicit?
It doesn't.
Like, but what does that have to do with the studies I'm mentioning? Like, it's really interesting because, like, you want to idealize that the world exists as you would like to see it, which, like, okay, like, anyone can do that. It might be a little foolish when we're faced with reality that, like, the perception of, like, my CV with my first name, which is Sam, versus my CV with a stereotypically black name, based on studies that have been replicated, which CV is going to have a more perceived qualification? Are we just off in a land where, like, these studies don't exist?
One, it's incredibly easy to manipulate a study. But two, I just don't see any evidence of it. Who disproportionately commits crime? It'd be closer to 13, 17,
but like, what does that have to do with
and of that 13%, generally about 95% of that is committed by 6%, and of that 6%, it's maybe 5% that are fucking shit up. But again, that tiny fraction is responsible. All I have is two names. Obviously, I'm going to bring them both in for an interview. You're just giving me names on a piece of paper.
You realize the first part, like, I don't know if you've ever interviewed for something. I had to interview to get into my PhD. I did very well. And when you interview, right, like the first part is getting the application in. And if there's something that's unfairly biasing someone against having the application be accepted, wouldn't you agree that that's a form of job discrimination?
No. And two, when you just said you applied to be in your PhD program, well, if you have a black sounding name, you are far more likely to be accepted into that program than if you have a white sounding name or an Asian sounding name.
If I say I have study X that proves a kind of discrimination, you agree that that is a kind of discrimination. Your only route is that you're denying that these studies exist. The difference is between, and this is an analogy, between men and women, let's say on maximum bench press. That's a statistical difference, right? Like it's not that every woman is going to be weaker than every man.
With the exception of maybe 3% of women, yes, there are exceptions.
Yeah, it's a statistical rule, right? So when I'm talking about a study, the study's talking about a statistical rule. That doesn't mean that every person's not going to get an application in, right? Just because there's an implicit bias against them doesn't mean that that implicit bias is in totalizing. Are you familiar with the idea of like statistical effects?
Well, your buddy there believes in totalism and all that other shit that I have to be 100% accurate all the time.
Oh, when
he also believes his haircut looks good. I mean, I don't really care about what he thinks.
Hey, Sam, when I say they'll never cover something, does that mean 100% of the time they'll never cover it?
I mean, that's what it sounds like. Like, I don't understand why we're splitting the infinitive here. Like, this is a clear case. Like, another one that's pretty well documented in medical care, for instance, which is a very big structural force in our country when you look at what medical expenses are and how that's at the root of many bankruptcies and debt. Black patients, and especially Black women, this has been found in multiple studies, their perceived pain gets rated statistically less seriously than white patients. Like that's another one that study's been replicated a couple of times.
Once again, you're asking me to swallow that doctors don't take Black women as seriously as they take white women.
Yeah, that's how studies work.
That's how studies work.
I refuse to accept that premise.
That's kind of like you admit that there's issues with nurses, right? So why can't you admit that? Yeah, there probably are some fucking
I admit there are issues with nurses because they're complete fucking hypocrites.
You have anecdotal evidence to support that, no?
Do nurses not lobby to get laws changed? Do nurses not go on camera all the time crying about how they care for their patients and then every 15 minutes go on strike for more money? Now, whether or not you think they deserve the money is beyond the point.
Just saying, hey, we do care about our patients, but because I care about my patients doesn't mean I don't deserve more money.
Also, it's not their job to care about me. Their job is to patch me up when I get banged up, not care about me.
Their job is to care about everyone that comes to the building. I don't want to.
No, it's not. Their job is to patch me up and send me on my way.
No, okay.
Their job is not to make sure I eat right. Their job is not to make sure X, Y, and Z.
Is you dumb bitch.
Most skin conditions, if you look in textbooks, they're modeled on white skin. So a lot of doctors, especially dermatologists, don't know what the condition looks like on Black and brown people of like rashes and dermatological conditions. Like this is another just known fact. People, and I can tell you because I work in biomedical research, people are trying to address these things, right? But we're talking generations now. Like, is that not an example of systemic bias?
Look, if you can provide me, I would say in that instance, if that is true, that would be not systemic bias, but in need of updating the goddamn textbooks.
Okay, but like, why is it that the default has to be white people and it can't be a variety of people of different tones?
One, the country is 76% white. So it's a majority white country. I would assume if they print these books for, let's say, the nation of Zaire, they might have a different skin tone.
Yeah, that's not a nation anymore, my dude.
But again, I am fine with
Democratic Republic of Congo.
I am fine with updating the textbooks, but that isn't systemic or implicit bias.
So books, which are a part of the foundation of the system, which have a bias, which is partially negligence, actualizes inferior outcomes on the basis of that systemic bias. That's not an example of systemic racism.
No, I would say that's more an example of update the damn book. I do not see how Black people in this country, when they can do anything, be anything they want, are in every facet of every single profession and avenue in daily life. They can buy a home where they wish. They can rent an apartment where they wish. They can do anything they like.
That's not true.
And I don't see it.
The apartment thing. They also did the study, the same thing with the job thing, but with renting apartments.
Like what you'll do is that you seem to rely on what's called a de jure distinction. That means that by law, there's no distinction, but there's de facto. De facto is like, what's the actual fact? right? Because government doesn't control everything. I think we have to agree on that, right? Laws don't control everything.
Yes, you're
example-
allowed to run your business as you see fit.
By law, voter ID laws are not actually discriminatory, right? It's just says have an ID. But what happens is you make it so that people of certain population classes, it's harder for them to acquire an ID.
Really?
And so then, so this was in the, what was it, North Carolina state legislature. They actually had the law struck down. Was it the state or the federal Supreme Court? I don't remember.
It was the state Supreme Court that said it was almost surgical in precision to
because they had records of congressional officials actually saying this will keep black people out of the polls.
Yep.
So that's an example of using egalitarian de jure policy, but having a de facto policy that made the system racist. They had like meeting notes from Congress people saying that this was going to reduce the black turnout.
Okay, then my counter to that is, why do I see black people driving cars? Why do I see them going to the liquor store, buying cigarettes?
Oh,
you
man.
need an ID to do everything for you to show your driver's license to go vote.
You literally have people who are talking about their intent and saying that their intent is suppress some section of the vote on a racial basis. You're just saying, well, there are people that didn't suppress. You seem to think that it's all or nothing.
Like if they were proposing white people have to pay $3 to vote and black people have to pay $5, then you got it. Or only black people have to show an ID to vote and white people don't.
Surely you admit there's more nuance to it than that.
But like,
getting an ID is not that hard.
But like, do you admit that there's the poli-sci distinction between de facto and de jure status?
Exactly.
And like, if you don't understand that there's a distinction between the implementation of policy and the policy itself, it becomes a very difficult conversation to have, talking with the same vocabulary as to how these issues exist.
I'm not going to do anything about systemic racism because it doesn't fucking exist. Break with white solidarity. Well, if you want to break everything down into a race-warry, tribal type of shit, no, I gotta stick with my team.
Well, no, keep on playing. Keep on playing.
What? I mean,
wait.
Sorry, man. Oh, sorry, I'm mute. I'm sorry.
We're talking about a ridiculous premise that is never going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
but if it were,
even then, you would be like the first cut on like white people team, just because like you're frumpy and you wouldn't be able to contribute anything. So it's like, no.
You'll be cut right after me there.
No,
I ain't taking a fucking side in a race war. No, thank you. Also, I'm mixed race, so why even entertain it to begin with? Is what I'm asking. Like, it's just
because
it's
again, this whole article is breaking us down between white and black and seeing color everywhere all the time.
That's not calling for a race war, though.
And you must hate yourself and blah blah blah.
You don't see the difference between that and calling for a goddamn race war?
Of what I was talking about in the Coca-Cola article?
Exactly. Like, I don't agree with the shit in this article.
Even leftists mocked this article.
I'm gonna blow your mind right now, dude. I'm not even fucking left-wing. I don't identify as left-wing, so no, but I think you made a fucking fool of yourself, even making fun of some easy bait, because that's all you do on your channel, is you just shoot fish in the barrel. You just go after the easiest fucking left-wing targets you can. Am I wrong?
So what's your problem with the Green New Deal?
The reason I don't like it is it's quite frankly impossible.
Why is all that bad? Because of feminism, though.
You're going to need to build massive amounts of new nuclear power plants because solar and wind are not there yet.
Yes, they are.
They may be in the future.
Nuclear's the future, dude, but go on.
Wait.
No, we stopped building nuclear plants in the 70s.
That's because of dipshits on the right who fucking feared-mongered about them. Yeah, we can continue because solar
No,
panels
I'm in favor of nuclear power. I think we should have been doing it since
You're the one person on the right who is.
Just that one problem alone, you're never going to be able to generate enough power to charge these things. And they need to be charged every day before and after work.
Wait, stop. So everything you said is fucking dumb. Literally, we can actually design pretty easy, quick charging things. It's not really that hard. We already have quick chargers that can charge your car from 0 to about 100% in about 13 minutes. That's not a big fucking deal. Solar and wind are actually there now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about of them not being there yet.
There are some issues with how, renewable resources are, but that's because we don't give it enough funding. We don't pay nearly enough attention to it as we do to fossil fuels. Like, if we actually spent some time at least researching this shit, then yeah, we'd be able to make things a lot more efficient and better overall overall. Like, we should be investing some time in
where earlier in another broadcast I put food into. I bought that refrigerator. Had nothing to do with me being white. I didn't get a white guy discount. I didn't get oh, you're white, so you get a free refrigerator program.
Like, you really think that it's that upfront and basic and bare bones, right? Like, you think if they were actually had this malintent, it would be that far in the open and that it would just be that plain and simple for everybody to see. Like, it's not like that. It's a lot more complicated than that. Surely you can at least comprehend that much nuance, right?
What, that as a white person, I have some sort of invisible advantage?
No, look, and look, I'm not completely informed on the subject myself, but as far as I can see, at least a little bit. Not a lot, but on some level and some aspects of life, sure, there are some advantages. Now,
no, there's not.
I got stopped by a cop and I didn't have to be afraid. I mean,
cops shoot white people at a 2-to-1 rate, if not more.
There's more white people than black people.
When they redid the statistical analysis on that study, they found that when you bracket off violent crime from non-violent crime, violent stops versus non-violent stops, black people get harassed and assaulted at 4 times the rate. The reason why the initial statistic was so low is because when you include just sort of like nonsense stops that black people go through regularly, there's just so many of them, dilutes the rate. When you separate by severity of crime, then the suspected trend emerges that in violent crime, black people will tend to be assaulted more. It's just that they get stopped for way more nonsense. And so the rate, you would be correct with respect to the rate in nonviolent crime.
Well, again, I don't see any evidence of that.
Like at a certain point, man, if we're talking, if we don't want to talk with a vocabulary of facts, this doesn't become a sensible discussion. This just becomes you shouting at me and denying anything that I say, even when you accept the premises of what I'm saying. I'm quoting the study that you're talking about because people do reanalyses. Like, this is how peer review and the scientific community works. Like, I'm sorry that you're not scientifically literate.
And once again, we're talking about what I was talking about earlier. And it also may be the fact that black people are more likely to be smoking pot while they're driving.
Can I see that?
I've never seen a study that suggests that drug use differs by race, except in the case of specific drugs. So methamphetamine tends to be used differentially more by Latinos and white people than black people, and heroin is more black people and white people than Latinos.
What about coke?
Like overall drug use, it tends to be pretty uniform across the races when you control for things like income.
Number of people shot to death by the police, whites are still leading it.
There's more white people.
Black people crashing down. It seems the cops are more hesitant to pull the guns on them.
Rates and statistics exist. Like, you can't just take absolute numbers. Like, at a certain point, man, like, have you ever taken a statistics or a science course, you know, where you have to analyze things with like for like, you know? So for instance, in the case of the drug war, even though drug use tends to be constant across groups, black people are like, what is it, 8 times more likely to be sentenced,
depending on the type of drug.
So here's an example.
Most people that are in prison for distributing meth, for example, are white. In prison for distributing crack, black.
If we take drug use writ large, right? Like, I take drug use as a block, but when you look at drugs in the aggregate, races use drugs at relatively the same rates, but yet certain races get prosecuted more than other races. This is probably the best argument against the war on drugs.
I believe it or not, I'm against the war on drugs. I think it should
I'm
end.
not saying you're for it. I'm just saying this is a very well-known argument. Who you know and how much money you have is such a big thing,
or
even when you
it's
control for those things.
Like, take the 94 crime bill, right, that everybody was complaining about Biden for. Do you know who pushed that? Do you know who pushed for crack to, let's say, have a harsher sentence? Black church leaders.
Sure, and they were wrong.
Do you think that's maybe why there's a higher level of policing?
I think that that's part of the reason.
You don't think that's a racist policy, though?
So black people were being racist to
Yes,
black people?
they can be.
This is basically where it begins. It might be difficult to do it because he did a fucking 4-hour games and beer stream, and after piling back like 12 fucking beers, he's like, let's check out Underhaven and do a fucking good rebuttal of them.
This the study that so I linked in the side chat a study from the same journal? Is this the one that you're referring to from 2009 to 2018?
Yeah, whatever I linked in the...
So if you look at results, and this is literally the first paragraph, the abstract that's describing results, among misdemeanor drug and alcohol related arrests, American Indians / Alaska Natives have an adjusted odds ratio of 3.60. Latinos, it's 1.53. I'm just paraphrasing. Black persons, 1.28, were more likely than white persons to be booked into jail as opposed to cited and released. Do you know what an adjusted odds ratio is?
Don't know. Don't give a shit.
So basically,
Also,
what it
by the
means,
way,
one
I'm on the
second.
FBI. Drug abuse violations is over 70% white.
What it is it's a statistical measure of an outcome relative to a background expectation. So for this, it's a measured outcome against a background expectation. But in this one, they're saying relative to white people. So relative to white people, the adjusted odds ratio for all of the groups I just listed, which were, American Indian, Latino, and Black, they were all above. If you have an adjusted odds ratio above 1, it means that you're more likely. So literally the first sentence of the results in the abstract conflict with what your conclusion is.
I don't care because more white people got arrested. Again, I just read you. Most
There are more
Indian
white
tribes
people.
aren't supposed to be
Dipshit.
dry and straight edge, so they're not supposed to have shit on the land anyway.
First of all, not all Native Americans live on reservations.
I am aware of that, but most of the reservations are dry. They're not supposed to even have a beer on them.
That's not necessarily true because the ones that have casinos do sell alcohol.
And a very tiny number of Indian reservations have casinos on them.
I'm still fucking having a concussion from the facepalm here that I literally cited the study that he cited, which has the opposite conclusion of what he's saying because he can't fucking read the first sentence of a results summary in the abstract. If you don't know what an odds ratio is, how about you not comment on a statistical study that uses them? The estimated effect matches exactly what I said, and you still are quoting it. If you were in any setting, you would just be laughed out of the room if anything was being evaluated on an intellectual level.
Again, I gave one number that's higher, and you're going with another number. Again.
No, I'm literally going with
the number of drug abuse violations, according to the FBI, 871,000 are white, 337,000.
Our numbers are not contradicting your numbers. There are more white people in this fucking country. But statistically, it is more likely for black people because there are less black people. It's
3-to-1 rate.
Yeah, and there's 7 times as
also,
doesn't
by the
actually
way, it's
care
a
if
bare
he's
minimum of 4 hours to charge any of these fucking electric cars, so good luck. You know what? Look, this is pointless. I'm out of here.
I literally,
what a hoe.
First sentence in the abstract of the results section refutes exactly what he said.
He doesn't understand statistical advantages.
All right, well, you know what? I've got something to say, dude. War Corps, the only thing that you could fucking win is a war of malnutrition, you dumb motherfucker. We won. We beat your ass several times on several points. I wasn't even expecting Scientist Sam to come in here and help whoop your ass twice as much. Fuck you, War Corps. You suck. You had a terrible showing, just like every showing you've ever had in your life.
At a certain point, though, when you're just talking to someone who literally misquotes their own source, it's just go fuck yourself.
All I gotta say is never go full G-Man.
The only problem is you didn't explain it to him like he was a kindergartner. Maybe then he would have got it.
It was way longer than he's ever lasted in bed, so good on him for that, Matt.
Wait, that's cute. You thought he's actually gotten in bed.
Just did it for the
I wonder that's why he needs all those clocks.
He needs a clock for each hooker. It's a rotation system. I think we figured it out.
That's why one of the clocks is gone, because he put his cock in that clock.